Debbie Doig yelled up at her grandson as he lingered on the stern of the USS Abraham Lincoln, waiting to man the rails. "You're too close to the edge," Doig hollered to Airman Daylan Doig, who waved back at his family gathered Monday at Naval Station Norfolk to see him off on his first deployment. Hold on, the aircraft carrier was still tied up at Pier 14, but not for much longer. Lincoln arrived in Hampton Roads in 2012 for its midlife refueling and overhaul at Newport News Shipbuilding. During that 4-year period, which began in 2013, the carrier became the first in the Nimitz class capable of accommodating the Navy's F-35C Lightning II aircraft. The ship has spent much of the last 2 years working up to this deployment, which will end with the homeport shift to San Diego. "We're doing the maiden deployment of the second half of the ship's life," said Captain Putnam Brown, the commanding officer of the Lincoln. The Navy won't say exactly what the ship's route will be, only that it's expected to circumnavigate the globe. The service had recently switched up how it deploys as part of a plan to make itself less predictable. The Norfolk-based USS Harry S. Truman became the first aircraft carrier to fall under that plan when it deployed in April 2018, only to return in July for a 5-week surprise working port visit before leaving again. While East Coast carriers have typically sailed across the Atlantic and through the Mediterranean Sea on the way to the Persian Gulf, that second half of Truman's deployment notched another highlight when the carrier became the first in nearly 3 decades to enter the Arctic Circle, where it joined a NATO exercise. Whether an Arctic visit is on Lincoln's to-do list, Brown couldn't say. "I hope that we're going to do some interesting things, and I expect that this will be a very interesting deployment," Brown said. The Lincoln Strike Group includes the embarked carrier Air Wing 7, guided missile cruiser USS Lady Gulf, and guided missile destroyers USS Bainbridge, USS Mason, and USS Nitze. The guided missile destroyer USS Gonzales left the naval station in March to perform ballistic missile defense and other missions. Spanish frigate ESPS Mendez Núñez will also join the Lincoln and stay with the strike group until October, the Spanish Navy said. As many as 60 to 70% of the Lincoln sailors were deploying for the first time, Command Master Chief Jim Stedding said. "The thought of an around-the-world cruise is exciting for many of those young sailors," Stedding said. With nearly 26 years of service and multiple deployments behind him, this global tour also marks a first for Stedding. "Even I'm excited, not knowing what to expect once we get on the further end of the deployment," he said. Amanda Almanza, of San Antonio, Texas, shared in that excitement. Her son, Airman Xavier Garcia, grew up a fan of the movie Top Gun and watched it over and over, she said. Almanza said her son packed his San Antonio Spurs clothes and a pair of cowboy boots in his sea bag.